This is a heartbreaking story of a mother who gives birth to her children behind bars, shackled and bound. There is no one to hear her cries. Will she be able to raise her child in this painful situation? Will she ever be able to break free from that confinement? The story begins with an Israeli military van in which a Palestinian woman named Laila is being taken captive. Laila is a teacher who was living with her husband in Palestine. They were planning to move to Canada to make their lives better, hoping to avoid the ongoing war between Palestine and Israel. Unfortunately, what they feared happened. One day, Israeli forces arrest Laila for allegedly helping some terrorists. Laila is taken to a dark cell in the jail and locked up. Her hands are tied so that she cannot free herself. She is completely terrified. She has never seen a room like this, with no windows for air or a fan. Before Laila can understand anything, an Israeli officer comes to her and interrogates her, asking which terrorist organization she belongs to. Laila tells him that she doesn't work for any terrorist organization, but is a teacher. Her connection is with pens and books, not with bullets and explosives. But the officer ignores her and repeats the question, "What is your purpose for being here? And how do you know those people?" Laila says that she doesn't know anyone, nor has she helped anyone. She repeatedly tries to prove her innocence, tears welling up in her eyes, but the officer is not moved. Due to her repeated denials, the officer starts torturing Laila, but she sticks to her story. Exhausted, the officer leaves. After a while, a woman enters the room and after conducting all the necessary examinations on Laila, puts her in a prison uniform and behind bars. The cell Laila is assigned to is filled with Israeli female criminals who spend their days intoxicated. For a simple girl like Laila, this kind of environment is very frightening. She has never even been involved in any kind of fight, so she doesn't get along with anyone. She struggles to get through the night. The next day, the jailer calls Laila to her room and says, "If you confess your crime, I can get your sentence reduced." But why should she suffer the punishment for a crime she hasn't committed? Hearing her answer, the jailer sends her out of the room. Today, Laila's husband, Fareed, comes to meet her. Seeing Fareed, tears stream down Laila's eyes. She says, "Get me out of this hell as soon as possible." Fareed consoles her, promising that he will get her out of there in a few days. Fareed cannot stay there for long. With tearful eyes, Laila returns to her cell. The next day, Laila gets into an argument with a drug-addicted girl named Shulamit from the cell. Their fight escalates to such an extent that the warden has to intervene and separate them. After that, Laila is locked in a solitary cell. In such an environment, Laila feels restless and anxious. Her health deteriorates so much that she has to be admitted to the hospital. After examining her, the doctor informs her that she is pregnant. Hearing this, she is happy, but deep down, she is very worried about herself and her unborn child's future. Seeing Laila's condition, the jailer sends her to another cell. This cell is filled with Palestinian women, which makes her happy. Here, there are many good people like Ali, the two sisters, Jamila and Fida, along with Sana, a girl fighting for the freedom of Palestine who doesn't trust anyone easily and doesn't make friends with anyone. The jailer calls Laila to her again and asks her to confess her crime, but Laila refuses, saying that she has done nothing wrong. She is sure that she is innocent and will be freed from this jail soon. Meanwhile, two officers search Laila's cell. They find some letters from Jamila that she has written for Ali's grandson. In fact, she is in love with Ali's grandson. Ali has two grandsons who are imprisoned in a neighboring jail. Jamila is in love with one, and her sister Fida with the other. And so, a few months pass. Laila is always sitting near the window. She looks at the sky. In fact, she wants to live a life of freedom again. Breathe in the open air and roam around like before. And she has no idea when that will happen. Then she notices some other female inmates who have been brought in with their eyes blindfolded. But why? Only the officers know. After a while, Laila is called. Her mother has come to visit her. Seeing her, She is very happy. Tears come to her eyes. Her lawyer, Rahi, is with her. He assures Laila that he will present her in court soon and that she will be out of the bars in a few days. Hearing this, Laila sees a ray of hope. Soon, the day arrives when she is presented before the judge. The judge points to a boy and asks, "Is this the same boy who told you to help the terrorists?" She looks at the boy for a few minutes and then answers no. After that, the judge orders the boy to be released immediately, but at the same time, Laila is sentenced to 8 years in prison for helping terrorists. Hearing this, Laila's soul trembles. She had come here hoping to be acquitted with honor, to live again the old moments with her husband, but the opposite happens. This sentence has turned Laila's whole life upside down. Disheartened and distressed, Laila begins to spend her days like any other inmate. One day, Farid comes to see her and tells her that he is going to Canada soon. Staying here is not safe for him. He fears that the police might trap him like Laila. He also tells Laila that she should have an abortion. It is better for both of them. Hearing such words from her husband, she is very hurt. She can't believe that the person she has loved all her life is leaving her today. This is the second biggest blow for Laila in the last few days of her imprisonment. She doesn't understand what to do. Now even her husband is not supporting her. He is leaving her for good to go to Canada. Many times, the thought of ending her life crossed her mind, but she has another life in her womb. She decides to live for her child, and now, with time, her pain has also subsided. Her tears have dried up. She lives with her Palestinian companions because the small world of the jail is now her family. Laila spends more than half of her time with them. One night, during conversations, they ask Laila how she ended up here. "How many people have you killed?" Laila replies that she is innocent. She has never killed anyone in her life. She was working a simple job teaching to earn some money, and with those savings, she was going to go to Canada, but she doesn't know why the Israeli government arrested her and framed her in a false case to leave her here to die. Hearing Laila's sad story, everyone becomes silent. They were not sad that she was in jail. They were sad that the pregnant Laila had to endure everything here without any fault. One day, while working, Laila's eyes fall on the Israeli inmate Shulamit, with whom she had a fight. Shulamit's health is very bad. None of her companions is there. Laila immediately takes her to the doctor. After regaining consciousness, when she finds out that Laila brought her to the doctor, she feels ashamed because none of her friends, with whom she always fought with others, came to support her today. If Laila had not brought her here, she might not have been alive. A few months after this incident, Laila's health also begins to deteriorate. As the delivery date approaches, she keeps getting sick, and soon the day arrives that she has been eagerly waiting for. She gives birth to a lovely baby boy. Holding her baby in her arms, Laila feels as if she has found the whole world. She is in jail, but today, even the prison bars cannot stop her happiness. The little life has made the jail a paradise. Laila hugs the baby and cries with happiness. After being discharged from the hospital, when she comes to her barrack, the women there happily welcome her and her son. Everyone together names him Noor. Now, Laila gave birth to him, but seeing the way he is being raised, it is very difficult to say that he has only one mother. For all the Palestinian women, Noor is their son. After his arrival, the room of 4 walls does not feel less than heaven, whose happiness overshadows all their sorrows. In the midst of these loving moments, a year passes. Noor is 1 year old, and now he walks little by little. Today is his first birthday, on which Jamila prepares a cake from bread, along with a ball, which they all made from clothes. For little Noor, this ball is the first toy of his life, which makes him as happy as we often become when we see new, colorful toys bought from the fair in childhood. And now, it gets dark. All the inmates are waiting for their food when they hear the news on TV that the Israeli army has attacked Lebanon, where they see many corpses. Seeing such a horrific scene, Sana and some other Palestinian prisoners get angry, and they all stand up to protest against the Israeli army, which makes the atmosphere chaotic. Then an employee comes and turns off the TV and tries to beat Sana, which causes a commotion. Due to the chaos, they are not given food. The next day, it is shown that all the Palestinian females go on strike against such atrocities, due to which the work that the Palestinian inmates used to do also falls on the shoulders of the Israeli inmates present there. They have to work all day to eat 2 meals. Among these inmates is Shulamit, who cleans the jailer's room. While cleaning, her eyes fall on the newspaper from that day, so she picks up the newspaper and secretly gives it to her Palestinian friend, Laila, so that they can know what the Israeli army is doing outside. Unfortunately, today's news is very sad for all the women in the barrack because the Israeli army has killed Sana's entire family. Hearing this, Sana loses her temper and starts screaming at the jailer, due to which the jailer comes there and takes Laila and her son Noor from there and locks them in a separate barrack. Now Laila is separated from her companions. Only her son is with her, who is now crying of hunger. After all, he is an innocent child. What does he know what a hunger strike is? The outside world is much bigger than the place where he opened his eyes. In such a situation, Shulamit brings a little food made by Israeli inmates for Noor, which Laila does not even touch because she is still on a hunger strike with her friends. She can never betray them. During this time, Laila finds out that her Palestinian companion, Rihan, is in cahoots with the jailer and is giving her all the information about their motives. The next day, Layla's husband, Farid, comes to see her, who wants to see his son once, so he has come so far from Canada, but she can never forgive him for the difficulties in which he left Laila, so she leaves the room. Many days pass, and all the Palestinian prisoners are still on hunger strike. Now the jailer plays her first move. To break Layla's spirit, she separates Noor from her. She knows very well that Noor is the apple of the eyes of all the Palestinian prisoners. Noor can get everyone's hunger strike to end, but nothing like that happens. One day, when all the Palestinian prisoners gather to talk to each other, Laila also comes there and tells Sana about Rihan, that she is a traitor, that she has betrayed them. Upon hearing which, Jamila attacks Rihan in anger. She is fighting with Rihan when suddenly the sound of a gunshot is heard. After that, Jamila falls to the ground. She has died. The atmosphere, filled with noise and commotion, is now completely silent. No one believes in her death. Jamila's death acts as the final nail in the coffin of the Israeli regime. This strike has now taken the form of a movement in which male prisoners also participate. In the corners of the jail, the slogans of Palestinian women are echoing. The situation becomes so dire that the jailer has to call the army there. They commit the same atrocities on those women as the Israeli army commits on the Palestinians outside. To calm them down, tear gas shells are thrown into the barracks, leaving them with no way to escape. And now all of them fall unconscious there, and the entire movement calms down, but many prisoners fall seriously ill. When this news reaches Layla's government lawyer Rahil, he files a petition against the jailer in court, due to which the Israeli government announces the release of all the old prisoners present in the jail. Along with this, the jailer is given severe punishment, and now the day has come when all the struggles of the Palestinian prisoners have taken the form of success. They are all going back home from jail one by one, except Laila, because she was not among those old prisoners. She was sentenced for another crime. Meanwhile, Ali's 2 grandsons and other men are also released from the jail. Today is a very big day for them too. They have all been given freedom. On one hand, Laila is very sad that she is not being released from jail because her son needs his mother, but she is also very happy with the freedom of her friends. She is sure that even in her absence, her son now has the support of not one, but many mothers. Laila spends the rest of her sentence teaching the inmates in jail, and slowly her harsh 8 years pass. Yes, those 8 years in which she saw many ups and downs. She saw what she wanted most. She saw it moving away from her, and she endured how much pain. Today, she is once again free from the chains of slavery. As soon as Laila comes out of the jail, she sees her son Noor in front of her, because when the other prisoners were released 8 years ago, they took her son with them, who is grown up, so big that he now runs and hugs his mother. And with this unbreakable bond of mother and son, the story ends here. This story is based on a true event that shows us that women are not weak. When they become mothers, their affection turns even the soil into a stone shape. And when it comes to courage, even the bars seem weak in front of them. We hope you enjoyed this story.